this week's chapter of Bleach, the battle between Ichibe Hyusabe and the Quincy leader continues to escalate. Not only that, but we're actually introduced to a brand new character this week. One who is actually the sibling of Yoruichi. Yes, the badass cat ninja girl from Bleach has a family. One that she's not really spoken of too much in the series, but it was a nice little surprise for this week's chapter, and surprisingly, I wasn't too upset over the fact that it broke up the action this week, because at least this week's chapter was bookended by some badassery. But before we get to that, let's talk about this brand new character by the name of Shuhiro, who happens to be the brother slash sister of Yoruichi. Upon seeing this character for the first time, my first thought was, oh, that's Yoruichi's sister. It has to be. But listening to a lot of people's comments and the fact that the character's name is Shuhiro just makes it seem possible that this might actually be the brother of Yoruichi, and it's kind of hard to tell with the clothes that it's wearing and just the overall attitude. I really cannot tell. If you guys have a theory or probably already know, tell me in the comments section below. Maybe the version that I was reading wasn't translated correctly. But Yoruichi's sibling is bringing this special weapon to her, which I'm not sure what it is, but it literally looks like a big wrapped up boomerang of some sorts, and it's apparently going to play a really big part in the end of this war, although it might just be some sort of Deus Ex Machina MacGuffin. I don't know what it's going to be. But the scene is great because it also gives us the reintroduction of the Vizards, which are awesome, or at least a select group of them. We have Lisa, Hiyori, Hachigen, and Love. I love these characters. I think they're fantastic, and they're very underused as far as I'm concerned. And if they were ever going to use them, the Final War is the place to do it, and I kind of wish they'd have done it earlier because some of the other members of the Vizards were fighting and they could have really used some help from their buddies. But it's great because we get this awesome confrontation between Hiyori and Urahara, and Hiyori is immediately thinking the worst because that's just her whole personality. She feels that Urahara is essentially just sending Ichigo to his death, although Urahara would not do this. He's always thinking a few steps ahead. He's got a big plan here. Don't worry about that. But the thing about this chapter that I love the most, of course, is the battle between Ichibe and the Quincy leader, which is just so exciting. You'd never think that a battle between a man and a sword and a big brush would be cool, but it is. And what I love about it is, at first, it's very standard. They're just trading blows, smacking the crap out of each other with their big weapons. And then eventually, Ichibe decides he's going to start using his abilities. And his paintbrush can't cut things. It's a paintbrush. But it does have the ability to sort of cut the power of something in half. And little by little, he's hitting the Quincy leader and his power is waning, and this gives him an opportunity to smack him across the Soul King's palace, which is really exciting, and I especially love all of the expressions that Ichibe is giving in this week's chapter. There's one moment where he's really goofy and happy. The next, he's one of the most disturbing, demon-infested, creepy things I've ever seen. Just the fact that his eyes go completely white. He seems to be really enjoying fighting against the Quincy leader and seems to really want to kill him at this point. But even with all these crazy techniques and all of the destruction, the Quincy leader is not going down. In fact, he almost seems elated and happy over this battle in the very final panel of the chapter, where he's getting ready to charge against Ichibe yet again. And as much as I want Ichibe to win, I just don't see it happening. But only because, you know, it's the main antagonist fighting against one of the main side characters of the show in the final arc of the series. Ichigo is going to be the one to finish off the Quincy leader. And that has me fearful because I don't want Ichibe to be killed. I just think he's one of the most fun characters of the show, and he's one that we still don't really know anything about, especially because throughout the entire chapter, Ichibe is sort of constantly hinting at the fact that both him and the Quincy leader knew each other in their previous lives, and I would like to learn a little bit more about that. And that sort of goes with all of Zero Division. I want to see like their whole development, how they became their squad, how they trained. And, you know, of course, this is all going to tie into the Soul King, who he himself is still completely mysterious. So, this was a great chapter. So, what's the rundown on this week's chapter of Bleach? I really liked it a lot. And I almost thought I was going to be bummed out by it, because when it started out with the battle, I was like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. And then they immediately cut away to something else. And I hate when they do that. But at least it's something kind of interesting. There's a brand new character who's been introduced, Shuhiro. And this weapon, which is going to Yoruichi, who knows what that's going to be. I can't wait to see what it's going to do. And just the prospect of the Vizards returning is great. But it's all about that second half of the battle, which is really exciting, has great artwork. The clashing of the swords and the brush looks really cool. Just all the destruction they're causing. and Ichibei himself, who's just so cool, calm, collected, and creepy and badass at the same time. I really think he's a great foil for the Quincy leader, and this is definitely, I think, one of the best battles of this entire arc thus far, and it's still just getting started. However, there's still a lot more for the final arc of Bleach. There's still a lot of things they haven't gone back to, including the main character himself, Ichigo, although they're still traveling to the Soul King's palace, and considering that's basically like the Snake Way of Bleach, we're probably not going to see them for a while. But in the meantime, I think we should all kick back and enjoy this really awesome battle right here. Hopefully they'll show us a few more of the battles going on between the Zero Division members and the Quincy leader's special guard, which now all have angel wings. Just the fact of them flying around the Soul King's palace is just so perfect and effective for this final battle. It's literally a battle between different versions of angels, and something about that I think is very intriguing. On the technical side of things, the artwork this week was really good, especially the character expressions which were coming from Ichibei, and just the destruction that they were causing. There's a little bit of action, there's a little bit of humor, there was a brand new character who was introduced. So this was a pretty full package of Bleach that you should check out if you're a fan of the series. It wasn't perfect. I still am not too happy about the fact that they cut away from the battle, but at least it was something interesting and it was a brand new character. So I'm going to give this week's chapter a 4 out of 5. Check it out, Bleach fans. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and like the video. If you guys checked out this week's chapter of Bleach, I would love to hear what you thought about it. What did you think of the battle between Ichibei and the Quincy leader? And what is that special weapon which is going to be delivered to Yoruichi going to be? And how's it going to play a role in the final arc of Bleach? If you guys have not subscribed to our channel, you can do that by clicking on the channel icon right up here, or checking out our main page. You guys can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. And before I go, I just want to give a shout out to one of my big videos that I just released. It is a very long video. It's the longest one I've ever worked on. It is my Naruto end of series overview and discussion video. It is nearly an hour long. If you guys want to hear me ramble on for a little bit, check out the video. There will be a link for it at the very end of this review. Thank you guys again for watching. Super Kami Guru 9000 out.